Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Melanie Loves Glam Metal. We will not be talking about death metal today. I am a fucking poser, and I'm just gonna get that out of the way. I don't actually really love death metal. I love glam metal. Uh, no, but in all seriousness, yeah, that was a dig at some of the trash comments that I've gotten on this channel. Is you don't actually love death metal, blah blah blah. You're a poser, which I don't understand where that came from. Probably Justin Horville's channel. I don't know. He had unfortunately has bred a lot of people to come to my channel due to a parody video that I did a while back. It was all in fun, all in jest. There's no beef between us whatsoever. But some people have come into the comments lately and have been giving me some grief about being a poser. I don't. Whatever, I'm a fucking poser. But anyway, I picked up a couple of box sets that I wanted to show off on here, just in fun, just to really, poke the bear, stir the pot here, and just talk about some other music that I actually listen to. A common question that I get on this channel is, what other genres of music do you listen to? And not a whole lot. I listen to a lot of 70s classic rock. I listen to a lot of progressive rock music, mostly from the 70s, 80s, 90s time period. And I really love a lot of 80s music, specifically like the Phil Collins stuff. And I've talked about that on other channels that I have, although my other YouTube channel I've completely neglected, so I need to get back on that. But I do listen to other genres of metal. Power metal is a genre that I am not well versed in. I don't know a whole lot about it. I listen to maybe like one band and that's about it. That's something that I've told myself I'm going to dig more into. Heavy metal, obviously, is a very frequent genre of music that I listen to in terms of metal. And hair metal. Hair metal, I listen to a lot of it. Actually, in my car, I have Sirius XM, and for a long time, I would listen to liquid metal, and then I'll be honest with you, I got tired of it because they only play Lamb of God, or Slipknot, or Lamb of God, or Slaughter to Prevail, which is another band that I despise. Lorna Shore, a lot of this like really popular stuff that I just don't really listen to anymore or don't like. So I got tired of that channel, so I moved over to Ozzy's Boneyard. Ozzy's Boneyard listens to a lot, or they play a lot of old school, like Black Sabbath, obviously. Ozzy, they do Whitesnake a lot. They do Motley Crue. They do Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, like all of those older heavy metal bands that I really enjoy. But sometimes I've got an itch that I need to scratch, and that's the glam metal, the hair metal genre. So I go over to the hair metal channel, and they play, Dokken and Rat and Motley Crue and Whitesnake and Survivor and Foreigner and Poison and Skid Row sometimes. Skid Row is not as common though. But anyway, recently I just started really getting that itch again to listen to it. So I was scouring Amazon. I had a gift card for $40, and I was like, I'm just gonna go buy a bunch of CDs. And this kept popping up for the vinyl box set, and the price was actually decent. It was only $110 right now, and I was like, that's a really good price for this vinyl box set. However, I just went with the CD, and what I'm talking about is the new Motley Crue Crücial studio albums 1981 to 1989 box set. This is the CD box set, but there is a vinyl version of this where it's all color vinyl. It is only $110 on Amazon right now. That was really hard not to buy considering the price of it. I think originally this box set was like almost $200 when it first came out, which was last year, very end of the last year. Very beginning of this year, so it's been out for several months now. But I went with the CD because they were on sale for like $32, and I don't mind CDs. And this is a band that I don't listen to all the time, and I felt like maybe the box set for the vinyls would sit on my shelf longer than it needs to, because I actually buy box sets that I plan to listen to and not let them sit and collect dust, which so far I've been doing a good job of that. This one probably would sit and collect dust because I'm not always in the mood for this kind of music. And when I am in the mood for it, it's nice to just be able to have it and listen to. And I'm not a big fan of digital streaming right now. It's just not as fun. Maybe in the car, but even then in the car, it sucks. I have a CD player and just the sound quality is so much better. So yeah, I picked this up. I put the hype sticker on it. I don't really care about ruining the box. I don't ever plan on selling this. if I ever were to sell my CD collection, you can easily peel this off. I won't do anything to box set. So like, it's coming up. It's not an issue. But anyway, so this has been out for a while. It is a really nice box set. I prefer this kind of a CD box set. Maybe jewel cases, but they kind of mimicked the vinyl one, so I won't be too upset about that. But in terms of box sets for CDs, I'm not a big fan of the clamshell ones that open up and there's like the thin cardstock, like little slip cases. Like my Judas Priest one is like that. I think my Sepultura one is like that. So I do like that they kind of mimicked the box set for the vinyl side of this. So it's really nice. Overall impressions is really nice. So Motley Crue, you guys don't need any introduction. You know the band. You know who they are. This is a band that I grew up listening to before I got into any sort of extreme metal like death metal or black metal or grindcore. I had these bands that I grew up listening to. It was this and Scorpions and Whitesnake and Rat and Dokken and all of those bands. Like, they were on the radio, they were on MTV, like they were everywhere. So that's what I listened to. This is what I liked. Aerosmith, I know they're like a 70s classic rock, but that's another huge band that I was really into for a very long time. So yeah, I recently went through a bit of a binge of listening to these old school Motley Crue albums, mostly because there is a 40th anniversary, I believe it's Shout at the Devil box set that was just recently announced, and some of the YouTubers I follow on here posted some videos on it, and that kind of piqued my interest to like, oh, I want to listen to Motley Crue again. So I started listening to them digitally because I didn't own anything by them. And then I saw this, like, I'm just going to grab it. So it's nice, for the money that it is. Like I said, I only spent $30 on it. I think originally it's like 50 or $60. It was worth it for me. So, it has all the classic albums. It's got Too Fast for Love, Shout at the Devil, Theater of Pain, Girls, 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 and Dr. Feelgood. That is about all I listen to when it comes to Motley Crue. I don't really go past any of the albums after this. A lot of people are going to get mad at me, especially if you're huge Crue heads. So that is a quest that I plan on doing soon, is going through and listening to the full discography, and we'll see. I'm not ashamed here at all. I'm not ashamed to admit that I love Motley Crue, at least these albums anyway. The band is a bit of a shit show now with all of the stuff that's going on, but whatever. These are some classic songs. I still love all these albums. I still listen to them. They're as cheesy as they are. So the inside of the box is flooded with blacks, which is a nice touch. Nice quality box set. On the back, it shows, the albums, the songs, and when it was released, and some nice promo pictures of the band there. And like I said, I saved the hype sticker. It tells you, like, how many platinum each album has gone. So yeah, you can find this on Amazon. It's not sold out. There's also a vinyl box set that's all color edition. Still tempted to buy because it's only $110. If I do that, I might end up just trading this out to somebody. But for right now, I'm happy with the CDs. But it still haunts me. It still pops up. Amazon even sent me an email the other day. It's like, hey, Melanie, we noticed you were looking at this. It's still $110. I'm like, fuck off, Amazon. I'm trying to be good and save money here. So the first one in there, obviously Too Fast for Love. Now, these are all digibooks, which you guys know I cannot stand. But since it's in a box set, they stay in nicer shape, and it's a pretty nice quality one. Like I said, I think they tried to mimic the vinyl box set here. So there's a CD. There's just some images right there on the back, and these are nice, and they do come with booklets. So now I have another box that I'll show off later on. In the next couple weeks, I didn't come with any booklets, and I was kind of annoyed with that considering the amount of money I spent on it. So here's the booklet. It's just the lyrics on one side, and then on this side is images. Gotta love that one. I don't know if this is actually like what the vinyl or the original CD looked like. I have no idea. I've never owned any of their music physically, ever. So I have no idea if this is like matching any of those. But it is nice. Like I said, it's similar to the vinyl records. It's got the flooding on the inside for the black. Nice quality. The CDs sound spectacular. And this is not my favorite Motley Crue album, but I do love these first couple albums. And it was fun to re-listen to these. I don't need to talk about the music. You guys know this album. But yeah, and I've often joked that I might start dressing like this to my wife, and she didn't find that funny. So the next one in the box is obviously Shout at the Devil. So this one has the 40th anniversary box set that is out for pre-order. The price is way too steep for me. There was no way I was going to spend that money on that. But this is probably my favorite Motley Crue album from what I listened to. Obviously, there's a lot of albums I've never heard before. This is the one that I generally gravitate towards the most. And I think a lot of maybe people might agree with that sentiment. I don't know, but here is the other cover version of the cover. And this is what I think the box set is the cover too. Is this the uncensored version? I don't know. I can't remember. But yeah. So there's the booklet. This booklet is a normal style booklet. It's got the lyrics, the photos, which are just simply spectacular. Look at that. And then right there. So yeah, again, I tend to gravitate towards this one the most when it comes to listening to Motley Crue. Maybe just because I'm a devil worshiper, I don't know. But I always, in the beginning, always gets me really going. Like, I love that song. It's a great opener. So there you go. It's a great album. So that's the next one. This one, Theater of Pain. I really love this album. I think it's a little bit underrated. I listen to this one all the time still. And when I put this on, I hadn't listened to it in a while. Remembering how much I loved it. So yeah, I don't know. Smoking in the boys' room. This came on in the car while I was driving my son home from his class the other night, and I was singing it, and then I had to explain what the song was about. Sorry, wife. He found it to be hilarious, and I noticed he was humming it the other day when we were hanging out during the hurricane, and I was like, oh boy, what have I done? So here's the inside. This admittedly is some of the first Motley Crue music I ever heard. Smoking in the Boys' Room was always played on the radio, especially the classic rock stations that I grew up listening to. So this was obviously like my first interaction with Motley Crue. When did this eventually come out? Does it say on the box? I think it says on the box when these originally came out. 1985. Jesus, I was only a year old. So, and this one is a normal book too. Of images. This is when they start to really hone in on the glam metal there. They start to kind of get that image going. I mean, I still think it was a little bit in the first two, but for what it's worth, there you go. That 80s glam rock is really starting to shine through on this album. But yeah, I like this album a lot. Underrated. And then obviously Girls, probably the one that I listen to not as most as you would think. I don't know, for some reason I might have just gotten burnt out a little bit on some of these songs, so that's probably why I don't listen to it as much, but it was fun to revisit this one. Reminded me of a few deep cuts that I actually really enjoy when it comes to Motley Crue. Nona is one of them. Bad Boy Boogie. Some of these songs are so fucking stupid. Like, just the lyrics are so cheesy and bad, but whatever. It's a guilty pleasure. So there you go. There's that. This one is probably by far one of the more cheesy Motley Crue albums, that's for sure. So there's that. And then lyrics on the inside. So some of them have really nice booklets, and some of them are pretty simple, like bifold things. Booklets, I don't know what they're called. So there's Girls. And then finally, the most famous Motley Crue album, Dr. Feelgood. Probably one of my favorite album covers just of any musical genre, just for just the nostalgia of it, and just picturing the people wearing the t-shirts, back then with the holes in them and stuff like that. But yeah, you guys all know Dr. Feelgood. Did they just do an anniversary edition of this too? I think they did. Didn't they just do a box set of just this album? Again, those box sets are way too expensive for me to buy. For just one album, I can't justify it. Like some of the Black Sabbath stuff, yeah, I'll do that. Like with Paranoid, I think it was $100, but it's not like $260. Like, that's insane for just one. I know they give you a ton of extras, but it's still just, I can't justify that price. If you bought it, that's totally cool, and I'm jealous, because if I had the expendable money, I definitely would buy those things. But so here you go. This is a normal booklet. Really nice quality. I like this booklet the best. I think it's really nice. I like the green print that they did with the black there. Some aesthetically pleasing. There's your promo shots from the album, and then the back. So yeah, it's a nice box set. I mean, for the price, for what you're paying, you're getting 5 CDs. So, which probably come out to be like $10 a piece. So I got this for $30. So it ended up being cheaper in a good value in terms of what you're buying. So this was out on Rhino Records, and BMG also put it out, but so I'm pretty sure you can also get this through Rhino's website too, but it's available on Amazon. It's available on Discogs. Some of the Discog prices are just the normal retail price, which I think were like between $60-$70. Let me see, I have it up here. CD currently right now, this is $38 on Amazon. It originally was $50, so that's the retail. So, but I got it for $32, so I even got it cheaper than that. So yeah, if you're looking to snag this into your collection, if you have no shame, don't have shame. Listen to whatever the fuck you want. It's worthy of getting if you don't already own them. Most people I would say probably already had these in their collection, you know. But for me, who has never owned them physically, it was a nice little buy. It was easy to grab. It was easy for me to buy. So here's the reason. Some people are probably thinking to yourselves, why would you buy this for $32 when you can go to a used CD store and get probably some of these for only $2 a piece? And here's the reason why. One, the CD store that's closest to me is almost an hour away. And they don't always have everything. I mean, yeah, they might have most of these used, and I would say probably starting at $5, $6, $7 a piece. So the cost of me driving there to find and buy them and then come back it's not worth it for me. Maybe if it was a day that I just like didn't care about that gas cost or whatever and just wanted to get out of the house and go, then yeah. The next thing is Discogs. Yes, I could probably find a seller or a record store that would sell these for like $3, $4, $5, $6 a piece. But here's the thing. They might not have all of them. So I'd have to go through multiple sellers and I'd have to pay multiple shipping costs. So by then, it would be more expensive than just buying the box set. So I tried. There were a couple times I tried looking. So this seller had Dr. Feelgood, Girls, and then Shout at the Devil. Okay, so there's 2 CDs I still needed. They didn't have them. It was $20 for all the CDs plus $6 shipping. So then the other 2 that I went to, they had for $5 a piece plus $5 shipping. So at that point, it was just more expensive. And yeah, it could have been, you know, helping out a local business and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I'm a lazy piece of shit. And I need that instant gratification. And Amazon had this to me the next day. So just being honest here. Hey, we're all penny pinchers right now, you know, just got to admit it. So yeah, that is the reason for me buying these box sets. And you're going to see, because I have several back there that I'm the same exact reason why I got them, for that same exact reason. It's just because of the convenience and the cost ended up making more sense for me. Now, if you're close to your record store and stuff like that, like totally, you can get these probably for way cheaper. And they're nice jewel cases and they're not digibooks and whatever else. But that is my overall reasoning for it. So there's going to be somebody in the comments that says it. I know it. So I'm just covering it. I don't really care that they say it, but I'm just going to call it out there because I don't want to reply and copy paste it 4 different times. So yeah, it's a nice box set. I like Motley Crue. Motley Crue actually is a big reason why I started this YouTube page. I'm not gonna lie. There is a person on here who I've been watching for years and years and years, like 7 years now, who is a huge Motley Crue fan, and for whatever reason, just randomly the algorithm popped up his page to me a long time ago, and he was showing off some vinyl, and so that is originally why I was like, you know what, I think I'm gonna start doing that. So there you go. A little backstory. So that's my Melanie Loves Glam Metal Part 1. This is going to be a very limited series because there's not a whole lot of these hair metal bands I listen to. It's all the popular ones, but I figured why not show some humility here. And yes, I do listen to some of this music and would love to nerd out with some people on it. So, and I know there's a lot of you out there that like this music too because we've had those conversations. So good stuff. That's all I have. Let me know in the comments what your guilty pleasure band is, and I will see you in the next one. I've got a few more that I'm going to be recording. I'll probably give it a few weeks though. I gotta get through the hate of this video first. So see you guys in the next one.